Yo, welcome everyone to a brand new video, and today it's time for the Challenger Series Round 1 around Bahrain. If you guys don't know what a Challenger Series is, there have been 2 qualification events, and these are the ones that have qualified for it. So this is the grid I'm racing in today. There have been 2 qualification events, and the top 8 fastest people have top 9 fastest people have qualified for this, and I think the top 6 will get their pro license. And if you have your pro license, you can get picked by an F1 Esports team to race for their team next year. So it's a full qualifying and a 50% race, different compared to last 2 years. Back then it was a short qualifying, 25%, one shot qualifying, and again a 25% race. But yeah, different this year. So far in Q1, our banker lab was good enough to make it through, so we only had to use 1 set of softs. So that will give us 1 more run in Q3, probably. First have to make it through Q2, of course, and we are racing in the Williams, and I've already had questions before about that, why I'm not in Aston Martin, because I'm a development driver for Aston Martin, but at the Challenger Series they don't really care about if you're already in team or not. Like, what Challenger Series is to get into a team, so they just randomize all the cars, and yeah, you just have to be lucky to drive in a car you like. For me personally, as long as it's a Mercedes engine, I'm happy with it, so that's fine. By the way, first run we did in Q2, we invalidated last corner, so that was not a new. So we only have 1 run left to get a lap time in and try to get through to Q3. So now heading into turn 10, probably the hardest corner around this track, 4th gear and using the exit curb. Some people do it, some don't. I felt like I could carry a bit more momentum through the corner if I did that. 4th gear for this corner, 5th gear on exit. And that's Alfie Butcher who does the fastest lap time of the session now. And we are doing a 0.81 split, 600 faster than Jack West, who has done a 0.408. So we need a good final sector to make sure we can get through. And now only 1 corner to go. Corner was alright. Bit too much entry speed, and you can hear me saying that's out, and we are P11 for now with a 3.69. Just about. But there's still more people to cross the line. It's for now P13. Only Dylan Warren, but his split was around the 7 mid, so he's gonna get ahead of us unless he had invalidated in the final corner, but he didn't. He went to P8. We are P14, so we are out in Q2. We have to start the race from P14, and I mean, I'm starting many races from around this position, and normally still manage to score a couple points. So it's definitely not the race over. I'm still excited to race. I think we were only 600ths of the cutoff of Joost, so it was very close. These are the lap times at the end. It's Ruben pole position with a 0.841. So yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous lap. Really well done. For now, we are gonna start the race in P14. We have the hards. We're gonna do the hard medium strategy. So now 5 red lights. And away we go, and it seems like our start is not really good, but our second phase is a lot better. And now it's important to have a bit of space around you. So there was a small gap here. I went for it, and now try to keep it around the outside. The Red Bull on my inside there spun around, and now it's Joost and Nualas ahead of me. We gained 2 positions already, so it's a good start for now. And just trying to keep our front wing alive. Maybe get 1 more position. Slightly go out the inside of Joost there. And now there's contact there. And we're gonna move up the inside. We get hit from behind. And we basically got pushed onto the curb on the inside. And I just tried to avoid the cars there and took a warning. Luckily we didn't spun around, but Joost spun, unfortunately. So for now we are in P11, and you can see in top left Ben Sabo is on soft tires. So I was wondering what kind of strategy he is gonna do and if it's gonna work, but we'll see later on. Now Ismail Fassi is really close behind us, and just gonna try to keep him behind us. Is Jack West ahead of us, so you never know what can happen there. And just checked, but I don't have any damage from what happened. And now Ismail is gonna go on the attack. We are going to the inside, defensive, trying to keep the inside line here. And he backed out of it, didn't try to keep it up the inside, so that was good. Jack West had a little moment there, and now Ismail goes again for the attack. Tries to go around the outside. We have the inside corner, he outbrakes himself, and we can stay ahead. Like I said, it's just a bit of wasting ERS at this point. Just drained around 20% ERS for still driving behind each other. So not ideal, and around this track you don't really save a lot of ERS anyway. But now in lap 7 Isma is getting close again, and I was just doing easy lap times, just trying to keep a decent gap to Jack. But now you can see he is closing and closing and closing. We're gonna go to the inside, but he goes on our inside still. I'm gonna try to keep it around the outside and give him the space he deserves. And now we were ahead of him, but he goes up the inside again. So we squeeze him as much as possible and move back to the outside. And now try to keep it around the outside there, but he is the car ahead of us too now. Yeah, so he made the move stick. So GG's, was a good battle. Just unfortunate that we had to use so much ERS for it. But yeah, I just tried to defend my position. So now Ben Sabo in lap 10 is going in. And he's going on to the medium, so that's a very aggressive strategy, and I didn't even think that that was possible. But we'll see how it goes for him. So for now we are up to P11, and there are 2 cars who are going into the pits, and we're just gonna follow Ismail just to stay in the DRS, save as much ERS as possible.
Stay out.
And now in lap 14, the next lap, Will Lewis and Ismail Fassi are both going into the pits. We're gonna do 1 more lap because there was still a long there were quite some people already boxed, and Will Lewis and Ismail Fassi will come out around them, and they will be on very cold tires, and especially around this track in turn 1-2 they can start battling quite hard, and if they lose time with that, we can even gain positions with the overcut. So that was what we were trying to do. Also in the top left you can see that we are gaining a bit of time to the cars ahead of us as well. So our pace was not bad compared to our quali pace, as usual. But yeah, it's still Janik Inch ahead of us with and Dylan Ward with around 3-second gap, so it will be hard to still catch them. The first group of drivers were doing a really good pace, but they were staying out quite long, so maybe we can all catch up, and there will be some chaos, hopefully, for content. But now, lap 15, we are gonna go into the pits. And you brake just in time, avoiding the wall there on the pit lane. Very important. Would be stupid if you hit that. Don't. Never experienced that, luckily. But alright. On to the mediums we go, and you can see in the bottom left the whole train is coming there. And we had a big moment there. And now it's Ismail Fassi right ahead of us again. So we have done a very good strategy here. But of course we want very cold tires. So Valentin Tivar is going to use his warm tires now against us. But he has a 3-second time penalty. So I was hoping that that was valid and he wouldn't really start battling. But he is sort of trying to go up the inside there. And we're losing the gap to the cars ahead because of the cold tires we have. It takes around a lap before they're up to temperature. So their tires already warmed up pretty well. And I think at this point the tires are still not ideal, but a bit warmed up so you can push a bit. And you can also see cars ahead are very close together, so they will have dirty air through the middle sector, and we should gain a lot of time on them, and especially at the end with fresher tires. So that should be good. And now I was still trying to get the DRS, but we were just a bit too far behind. And now Valentin is on 4.5 tenths behind, but I was hoping so bad that he wouldn't do anything. As we were in a really good position now. So he is 2 tenths back and he is sending it up the inside. But yeah, we are ahead of him for the next corner. Okay. So not too bad, but we've lost a bit of time there, and I didn't really understand why I did that, as the cars ahead are battling really hard there, so we can gain time on them again. But yeah, I didn't really understand the point of sending it up the inside there. Maybe the only thing I could see is trying to slow me down for some reason. But now cars ahead are battling again, as you can see. And we are just trying to save as much ERS as possible. Felt like the pace on mediums was better than on hards, so that was good. And now, as long as they're just keep battling and draining their ERS, would be only better for me. So we are just going to be stronger at the end with fresher tires and with more ERS. And as you can see, some of them are flashing. So that's a good sign for us. And now in lap 20, Chena Kinshi is using a lot of his battery. Now look at what happened there. They're going 3 wide into turn 1, and it's Ismail Fassi who spins round there. And you can also see Chena Kinshi and Will Lewis are both flashing, and we are still on around 17% ERS. Ismail still right behind us, so he didn't lose too much time. As Valentin Tivar spins round there as well. So a lot of things going on here. And now lap 22, Chena Kinshi is going for a move for Will Lewis, and he didn't defend because he didn't have DRS. So I don't think. I think Chen would get past anyway.
Chen will get a penalty for what happened there in turn 1.
and I thought it was Chen's fault at the time, but I wasn't too sure. But I just saw 3 wide with Chen off the inside. But I can confirm he didn't get a penalty at the end.
Oh, Will penalty.
As Will Lewis gets a penalty, 3-second time penalty. But
Yeah.
I know at this track it's very easy to get double warnings, so he might be able to remove that. But he goes into the pits and he's going full speed, and that means only one thing, and that's that he retires from the session. I'm not sure why. Maybe he was frustrated or something else was going on, but
that's annoying.
I don't know. Good for us anyway. He also left the session. But that's us up into P10, and now it's Chenikinchi and Ben Sabo ahead of us. And if you guys remember correctly, Ben Sabo pitted 5 laps earlier, and now Jack West has a massive screen freeze. And you can see that he dropped back. He was ahead of Benz, and now he's behind Chen. So he lost 2 positions there, very unlucky for him. And he was also low on ERS. You can see he's flashing as well, and now they're gonna start battling. Chenikinchi probably going for a move on Benz with a lot fresher tires, and he has made the move stick. Now I think Jack West is also gonna go for a move, but he made a mistake there. And now lap 28 of 29, so we are going into the final lap of this race. We are in P10 currently, and always aiming for the most amount of points possible. So now through the final corner, and now we're gonna use all the ERS we had. We're gonna move to the left hand side and trying to get past Benz as well. And now there's Jack. We're gonna brake as late as possible, trying to keep it around the outside there. Now we're going side by side through this left-hander, but Jack West is slowing us down. And he hooked his front left tire into my side pod, which slows us down massively.
Always you. Swear.
But yeah, he got a penalty from the stewards anyway, so we still got the position at the end. And yeah, I think fair enough, but the cars behind now are still battling very hard. Good for us, so there's a big gap, and we are basically secured with at least a P9 for this race. And now I was still trying to get past Jack, both flashing though, so it's very hard, and there's no DRS zone for the rest of this lap. But yeah, what he did there in turn 1-2, I was completely up the inside, even cut the track almost, to give him as much space as possible. He still hooked the tires into my rear right tire, which slowed me down a lot. And yeah, that's a deserved penalty in my opinion.
Thanks for the sub, bro.
So it says now I'm P8, but Pookie had a glitch and he dropped back. So it's us into it was P9 provisional results, but it's P8 at the end. So for the first race, not too bad. It's just qualifying as always, but we know that.
Yeah, I got points.
At the end, I think we can be happy with how the race went. Next race will be Australia, so I'm gonna practice for that shortly as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and catch you guys soon.